Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you again for coming out to this event. First of all, I would like to thank Carden Rehabilitation Tables. It's one of our first corporate sponsors. They're sponsoring this press conference. They're based out of Burlington, Ontario. They're a manufacturer of physiotherapy bariatric tables, actually a world-class manufacturer, closer to kind of what business we're in right now. Some of their customers are actually the Cleveland Indians, Florida Marlins, Milwaukee Brewers, Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as they made a custom table for the Cleveland Cavaliers due to the fact some basketball players are kind of longer than the rest of us. So again, I'd like to thank Carden Rehab for sponsoring this event. And now, without further ado, what we're all here today for, we didn't think we'd hold it up much longer. We are proud to announce the new name, or the name of the new professional basketball team in the Niagara region, which is going to be shown to you by one of my partners, or our partner, Michael Skurdich. So here we go. The name will be the Niagara River Lions. A few little words here. After we did get a lot of name candidates, we got over 700 names, so we thank the Niagara community for sending in so many names. After going over the candidates, we decided to look no further than the mythical creature, the River Lion, which is displayed on Niagara Region's coat of arms. The River Lion also has deep ties with the region's first inhabitants. We feel that the River Lion, well, the lion is prideful, king of the jungle animal, and the Niagara River is a powerful, strong river. These are things that we hope our team can embody: pride of community and strength of community. So that's our Niagara River Lions, and we hope you like it. We know we're going to get a lot of comments about it, a lot of questions, but we're very proud of the work that was done there. Now, we also did have a Name the Team contest. We did draw the winner. We spoke with him last night. He's very excited that he won. I just want to announce his name. His name is Louis Iapicino. So he'll be a season ticket holder next year, and I think he'll be one of the happiest season ticket holders out there. Now, the other kind of surprise event we have today, the National Basketball League of Canada has done a hire recently. We have a brand new commissioner for the league, and in his first public appearance, Niagara Region has got the first public appearance. I think we should be proud of that. He's here today. His name is Mr. David Magli, and he's going to have a few words to say for you. And without again further ado, I introduce David Magli.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here. It's exciting to see where our league is going. To be able to have three young entrepreneurs look at the opportunity to own a team and bring it to their community, and have those people then invest in the community to get an amazing facility like this. From just a few weeks ago when they first announced it, to talking about meet this season ticket holder, meet this season ticket holder. Here's a sponsor that we already have for a press conference. I'm pretty confident this is going to be one of our better franchises really quickly. It's an opportunity for us to show the viability of this league. We'll be going into our 5th year. They have new blood come in, and new blood that's educated, that's done their homework, that's staying the course and being positive with where we're trying to go. It really speaks volumes of the potential of the league. It's my job to make certain that potential is fulfilled. We're going to bring a level of play that's going to be exciting and fun, but it's going to be clean. It's going to be fair. People are going to be doing the right things. They'll be clean human beings, and we're going to do things in a way that we're going to be real proud of. This is going to be Canada's league for a long time to come, and we think this is going to be a big part of why. So we're really appreciative of these three young men and what they've been able to do for us. Thank you.
First off, I would like to thank everyone for coming today. This is an exciting time for us, and we're glad you could all be here. Before announcing our new coach, I'd like to give a special thank you to Sean Whiteley for designing our logo. Sean, you did an amazing job, and it was a pleasure working with you this last few weeks. I would now like to introduce... Thank you, Sean. I would now like to introduce a person who is familiar to so many here. Coach Ken Mirage's resume speaks for itself. 2 national championships, 2-time CIS Coach of the Year, and several Hall of Fame inductions. In Ken, we found a coach who not only represents and honors the treasured history of basketball in the region, but also a coach who can bring a brand of exciting basketball to the hardwood. This new chapter of Basketball Niagara is a blending of the past, present, and the future. And we can't wait to get started. I'm very proud and excited to announce Ken Mirage as the first head coach and general manager of the Niagara River Lions.
I just saying, I hope the owners do that all year for me. But, it's great to be back in my adopted city of St. Catharines. Mayor Senzik's here, and when in the last press conference said some glowing things about me, and I don't know if they're really true, but I appreciated what he had to say, and it made me think a lot. And so I'm really honored, I'm really excited to be the head coach. I couldn't make it on the PGA Tour, so this is my next stop, and the only thing that's changed since I left Brock is my hairstylist decided my hair needed a different color, so we went with a little bit more gray than normal, but this is going to be a real interesting time, and I'm going to be very honest right now. When this league started 4 years ago, I was one of those coaches that said there's no way that league's going to fly in Canada. And through good ownership, Vito, who's in London, James Tipping, whose sons played at Brock in Brampton, and Andre, who's out in Halifax. Those are three of the main thrusts behind the league, and one of the reasons why the league is going to be successful, and is successful up to this point right now. We have a beautiful state-of-the-art facility that's going to be the envy of a lot of the teams in the league, and we're really hoping that we're going to put people in the seats. And I'm fully aware of the fact that as a new franchise, usually new franchises in professional leagues become the doormat of the league. But this is a little bit different because the league is only 4 years old, entering its 5th year. I don't think that's going to hold true with us. It's going to be my job to ensure that we have a quality product on the floor. And in my 2 coaching stints in Canada, which was 27 years, I had 50 All-Stars in 27 years. I had an All-Star every year that I coached. So that obviously shows that I know quality talent and can recruit quality talent. On top of that, I think I had 13 All-Canadians, 2 players a year in the country, 2 rookies a year in the country. So I'll find the talent. It's just going to take me a while to get my feet wet, but once I find it, we're going to have an exciting product out there, and one that you're going to be proud of, and one that I'm going to be proud of. And one of the lovely things I like about being the general manager is I have the opportunity to fire myself if I don't like it, or even maybe a raise in pay if I'm doing a good job. But it's so nice to see as many people here that I've met over my years at Brock. It's nice to see the 2 Brock coaches here, men's and women's. Nice to see the Standard, my favorite newspaper in the country. Got the golden voice of the Ice Dogs is here, Rod Mahood. People that I really, really respect are here, and I really appreciate you being here in attendance. And again, like I said, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a trying time, but I'm used to rebuilding programs or building programs, and I'll just allude to when I started at the University of Regina in 1982, they had lost 65 straight league games. By my 3rd year, we were nationally ranked, and by my 7th year, we were ranked number 2 in the country. When I took over the Brock team in 1989, they had lost 14 straight league games. My 1st year, we were nationally ranked, and by my 3rd year, we won a national championship. So I'm used to starting with nothing and building, and that's what we're going to do with the Niagara team. Is we're starting with nothing, and I can mold this team any way I want, and that's like a coach's dream right now. Get the players in that I want, get them to adhere to the system of play that I think is appropriate for us, and we're going to have a nice long season. 20 years in the St. Catharines area, and actually haven't played here. I had a great playing career. One of the, not necessarily coaches are great players, but I really did have a great career, and I think the visibility in the community. One of the things I did when I was coaching is the Regina newspaper would put it one time, I'm a walking, talking public relations machine. And when I get an opportunity to talk in front of people, I try to talk about what is the most important thing to me in my life, outside of my wife and my family, is my job. And I used to get out in the community and meet people like Angelo Nitsopoulos and his family. And when you meet people like that, you know, they grow on you. And I tried to get out to the golf tournaments and go to the various events. So I think the visibility factor is huge from that perspective. And I like to think that's one of the reasons why the owners thought that I was worthy of the job. Yes?
Where do you plan on recruiting from?
Well, we have and that's actually a very good question. I am only the second coach in the league's history that came from the CIS. at coaching ranks as a head coach. Kyle Julius is the coach at Mississauga, and but he was a player at the CIS level, and I'm happy that the owners have deemed a CIS coach worthy of coaching in the league here. Who knows the landscape in Canada better than a CIS coach? So my roots, when I built 2 national championship teams here in St. Catharines, I built locally first, and then I went out. So with this team, I'm looking for Canadians first, and then I supplement from there. We have to have a minimum of 4 Canadians per our roster. If I can have 6 Canadians, I'm going to have 6 Canadians if they're of the quality. But from there, I've got, over the years of coaching, I've made great contacts with some of the American coaches, and I've already talked to some of them, and their players are very, very interested already. And I'm hoping, if I can reach my goal by the end of June, that we're going to be ready to sign multiple players are committed, and so the people of the community of the Niagara region will have the opportunity to start relating to some of the players, and my plans are to get the players out in the community. So Canadians first, and then internationals after. And I can't just say just Americans, because I've been talking to a kid in the Bahamas. So I might have to visit him, though, just to make sure that the sun is still warm there. But that's my goal right now. Canadians first, and then international second.
You talked about building from scratch, and it's kind of a nice problem to have because it can be whatever it is you want. Do you have sort of any idea what direction you're sort of leaning toward in terms of the style of play or what the team will kind of look like?
Well, as a player, I was an offensive player. I mean, people always said that I never played any defense. But when you're a scorer and a rebounder, I said I can only do 2 of the 3. I can't do all 3. So I'm more of an offensive-minded coach. I like a team that can get up and down the floor. I liked it as a player. But I'm not stupid, knowing that defense is what wins you championships. And any of my really good teams that I coached were not only good offensive teams, but great defensive teams. So we're going to be a little mixture of both. So what I'm really looking for, and when I was talking to Dave Magli, he was talking about how athletic the players are in this league. You're not going to find great 7-footers in this league at all. But what you're going to do is you're going to find thoroughbreds, guys that can run, that can jump through the roof. Exciting to watch. And I'd rather have a player 6'7", 6'8", that's really athletic than a lumbering 7-footer trying to get down the floor and that's running in a time warp, hoping that he's going to make it before the 24-second clock stops. So definitely looking for real athletic kids. And most importantly, one of the things I've always been blessed with when I was a coach at Brock in particular is having a good point guard. I got to have a point guard who's an extension of me, one that I trust in any kind of given situation, and that's going to be my main focus. And that was the first player I talked to right now that was a point guard, and he's a quality. He was a first-team conference all-star, and if I can get a point guard, then that makes me look pretty good.
Sure.
And how old do you have to be to play in the league?
I don't know if there is any age restrictions at all.
Well, you have to be a high school graduate.
You have to be a high school graduate. So I think you got a wide range of ages. I mean, I would think the majority of the league right now is on the younger side, recently graduated, but there are some veteran players. You'll find guys that'll be in their early 30s.
Would you be competing with the university for players?
No, I don't think so. I think the players I'm going to be looking for will be would have to be graduates or at least have some college basketball experience. I don't know if there's anything in the league constitution that stops you from using a high school graduate like the NBA used to, but I don't know of anybody that's actively seeking those players out, because if that was the case, I'd be at Orangeville Prep right now sitting on the doorstep of 3 or 4 players trying to convince them to come. So because they are one of the best basketball teams in the country. Outside of Carleton, they're probably the 2nd best team. Anything else? Way in the back.
What are your goals for the first season?
Well, one of them's not to have a heart attack, I guess. if you've ever seen me coach, I have really nice jugular veins that sort of pop out. The goal, the best way I can frame it is that we want to be competitive. And what does competitive mean? We want to have a chance to win every time we step on the floor. How that equates into wins and losses is going to be how well we can play the last couple minutes of the game. I've always said when I coached at Brock, we always wanted to try to win the last 5 minutes of every game we played in, because if we win the last 5 minutes, it means we're going to win the majority of our games. No different with the Niagara team here. I mean, our goal is to win the last 5 minutes of the game, and if we can do that, we could have a pretty good season. So we just want to be competitive. We don't want to be a doormat. We want to be we want to make sure we see our name up in the standings, not at the bottom of the standings. And I'm going to do, in conjunction with the owners, we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that this team is the best quality we can possibly put on the floor. Anything else? Well, I'll turn you back over to Richard. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you very much. That's everything for today. If you want to take pictures with the coach, with the logo, with us, probably the coach and logo instead of us, you're more than welcome to. There's still coffee, pastries, fruits left in the back. Again, thank you very much for coming. Have a great day, and go River Lions.
You know, marketing 101. This is something we learned 20 years ago. We held back because we had the name about a week or two ago, but we had coach as well a week or two. But we made it one big event, one announcement. I think we had a great positive feedback from the people when they saw that Ken's the coach. He has a history in the community. There's no doubt about that, and a successful history. And to be selfish, we can hopefully parlay some of that success onto our name. We take it from him and throw it onto here already. And we're very excited.
When you started the process to find coach and GM, was that the strategy? We want to have someone that's part of the community, or what were you looking for?
No, our strategy was we know we will get inundated with emails and things because we know the business, which we did. We got inundated with resumes. Coach Ken came out of the woodwork. A couple other guys as well kind of jumped to the front of the line. And then when we met them, spoke to Ken, talked about things. We had about 3 interviews. You know, I don't want to say nothing's a no-brainer, but it became for us, I think, a no-brainer. You know, he's a double-edged sword's a negative connotation. He's given us the left-right punch. He's huge in the community. He already has the business connections, the people connections, the social connections. Just going to meet a high school coach and running a kids camp. He's going to help us, you know, be legitimate about that. And he has a coaching pedigree. You know, 2-time national champion. Doesn't matter where you coached, I think, as long as it's a decent level. But when you're a 2-time national champ, I don't think we're going to go 10-30 next year. Let's put it that way. I don't think we're going to go 30-10. But 20-20, 500 is our goal as to be a competitive team, as he said. I think that is a very doable, and we have the first building block for that.
700 submissions for the team name.
Yes,
incredible.
Yeah, no one, they didn't pick mine, just so you know. I had some other ones. So. Yeah, we had 700. What can you say? People got excited about it, I guess.
That's got to say a lot for, again, as a new franchise, and seeing that level of interest. Yeah. That's got to be exciting.
Yeah. We got everyone's email. They're going to get spam every... No, they're not.
That's it.
But we already, you know, not only a lot, actually, if we had a little section, a comment section on the submission, and some people wrote stuff like, when are tickets available? Along with their name. There is an interest here. We meet people and they're like, my buddy played basketball, and it's like on the phone, and my phone is ringing 2 minutes after that conversation with someone. They're like, oh, they told me you're the owner, we're really interested in it. Like, don't worry, it's going to be on Ticketmaster, you know, there's a lot of seats, and there is an excitement, and that's why we picked this Niagara region. We do business here, we are here, we know the history, the pedigree, and we really thought it's a good fit. And this I think was the first sign of it.
Well, I think when the league first started off, I think there was so much uncertainty. You know, even the owners were new to everything. The players didn't know what they were going to unfold. They thought, could we actually play in big arenas and put people in there? And I think London, for an example, has proven that you can put people in the seats. So through strong ownership, the league has been able to survive. And now entering year 5 and adding a new franchise, growth is always a real positive move. So who knows when the number 10 franchise is going to come in? And I think that's very, very close to that happening also. So I think that we have to applaud the owners in this situation.
One last point I want to touch on, you know, and you sort of talked about yourself being out in the community and the importance of having to be there. And that's a real foothold that the league has in success. It's been able to make a mark and be in the community. Sort of talk about the importance of that.
Well, I think it's really important because people have to know who you are, and they need to be able to identify to the franchise. So if you have a familiar face out in the community, that just does nothing but bode well for the future of your team. And then, yeah, I even look at some of the high school coaches. Some of the high school coaches I coached at the university level. So there's a nice little bond that we have out there. But my job is to make sure that I get out and around and let people know about our team, what we're all about. You know, whether it be going into the schools, speaking to the schools. You know, like I'm really, really big on the bullying whole situation. So we're going to be out there sending messages. We're going to get our players out as much as possible. And I think the more we get our players out in the community, the more the community is going to come to our games.
Gotcha. Makes total sense. I'm curious, did you have a hand in the selection of the name?
No, I didn't.
You just walked in, that's what it was.
I was shocked. You know, the thing I like about it, it's unique.
Yes.
And there's been other teams down here that have had all different kinds of names, from the Niagara Rabbits to Niagara Rangers, and this is one that's totally unique, and it sort of caught me off guard. I would have never ever thought of it, but I guess there's a history behind it. It has something to do with the coat of arms for Niagara, and so you know, it's unique, and you know, our franchise is unique, so now is our nickname. So that's all the good thing.
And the fact that it's the symbolism of pride, as an example, and again, that's so important when you talk about being in the community, that sense of pride, right?
Exactly. So I mean, we're going to saturate the community with River Lions merchandise, and the more we can do it. And I did that when I coached at Brock University. We saturated the community with Brock stuff, and we're going to do the same thing with the River Lions. And we want to see the people in the stands wearing River Lions clothing, and that's very, very important to us.
Awesome.